Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again, and today I'm bringing you guys a Kalista deck. You heard that right. So Kalista just got a new buff where now she has 4 health, right? 3 attack, 4 health instead of 4 attack and 3 health. And this actually, I think, makes her more playable because the opponent always has to spend at least 2 resources to actually get rid of the Kalista. Now, the deck that I'm bringing you guys today is going to be Kalista Fearsome Mistwraiths, which was suggested to us by Drakkros in our stream last night. Now, usually when I do my YouTube videos, I'm giving you guys gameplays from my Smurf in my European account. However, I think this deck is really good and refined enough that I actually took it to a climb on my actual Americas account, my main account in Americas, in high master gameplay. So the games that you're going to see today are going to be from my main account on my Americas account as we try to climb through the ladder through the 300 to 400 LP range. So, kind of going from there. Now, how does this deck work? Well, the idea is simple. You're playing pretty much almost everything Shadow Owls because you're going to go for kind of like an allegiance with the Wraithcaller, right? So you're going kind of like a fearsome mix to just try to overwhelm the opponent with the Wraithcaller being able to give you a lot of value because you get to summon 2 units, right? So we go stuff like Horror and Elise, which are very good early fearsome attackers, and the Onlooker as well can pair up to push a lot of early damage. Onlooker is not as good as it used to be because there's a lot of 1 damage pings, but it can still do pretty well in certain matchups. Then we have stuff like Mistwraith, right? Combined with the Risen Mist and the Wraithcaller, which can start putting a lot of value, making your Mistwraith become really, really big. And this is really the main way that you usually win games. Just having a lot of Mistwraiths in the field. With that, we have the Frenzy Scaler to get rid of fearsome blockers, which can also combine with the Harrowing Return, which remember, this card gives enemies -1 this round. So you can actually remove a lot of fearsome blockers by using this card and summoning a copy of your strongest ally, which is usually going to be the Mistwraith, but sometimes it could be the Wraithcaller, and in some rare occasion could even be the Frenzy Scaler. So you can combine these two to remove fearsome blockers. Then you have Kalista, which the longer she stays in the field, she can get value to level up and start summoning more of the Mistwraith. And then kind of to finish up, you kind of have some support cards, right? So 3 Fading Memories will allow us to copy some stuff like the Wraithcaller to be able to get some value out of it. Stuff like Sands of Time is the spicy tech of this deck. So this is the 1 splash that we have that's now Shadow Owls. The idea with Sands of Time is that you're able to either use it as a defensive tool. Like if you need to survive, if you're going against like a go wide aggro deck, you can use this to reduce their attack, or you can use this on your offensive turn to reduce the attack of the opponent's blockers and be able to have a big open attack with your fearsome units. Then we also play triple glimpse because drawing in this deck is very important, and we play triple harrowing because the best thing with this deck is just jamming your fearsomes in, attacking, opponent decides to block, and then all of a sudden you bring all your fearsomes back with their harrowing and you win the game. You also might have noticed that we do play 2 Camera-wearing dragons. I don't know how much useful this card really is, but it is a fearsome attacker, and it does drain 1 from the Nexus, so sometimes the opponent can think that they're safe at 1 HP because you have no burn, and then you surprise them with a Camera-wearing dragon to kind of win the game. It can come down as a 4/4, or it can come down as a 5/5 if you kill something with it, so it can become a really big fearsome attacker that the opponent needs to be worried about. And that's kind of like the deck, right? Again, it's more like a super aggro kind of style of deck that you rely more on fearsome and just having so many fearsome attackers that the opponent doesn't have enough fearsome blockers. And sometimes you can combo out with stuff like Frenzy Scaler or the Harrowing Return to even remove their fearsome blockers, or sometimes just jam in Harrowing and just finish the game like that. So again, the games today come from a main account, so hope you enjoy some high master gameplay. And as always, if you like the content, please make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. Hope you enjoy some Kalista gameplay. I'll see you on a later video for some mulligan tips. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Annie Elise. Now, while opponent does have a lot of stuff like Battle Feast and things like that, the Battle Feasts are not really good enough, right, to actually heal our Mistwraith. They will need to have Flock as well on top of that. And now we have Harrowing, and opponent shouldn't have a lot of fearsome blockers until they get Tide Vocalized. So they don't have a lot of fearsome blockers. We have a lot of fearsome attackers. We might be able to rush them down before they can kill us, right? And it's kind of annoying. I don't think we ever block with Elise unless the opponent decides to summon the on Elise right here, right? Yeah, he doesn't do it. Sure, we take the 2. We take the 2. Level up Annie could be annoying, honestly, later down the road as well. Like, level up Annie could be annoying later down the road. Unfortunately, this is a pre-aqua hand, right? I think we're actually gonna glimpse this Spiderling. Yeah, I think I'm actually gonna glimpse this Spiderling. Because our hand is really awkward. This should fit our hand a little bit. I wonder if the opponent actually goes for the Battle Feast right here. And if they go for the Battle Feast, I'm okay with that. Or do we still do the glimpse? I think we still do the glimpse, right? Oh, Unspeakable Horror. If it was Battle Feast, I still would have done the glimpse. But Unspeakable Horror is not a big deal to me. Because he's still... Wait, he's not getting the Nightfall value here. I still think it's correct to do the glimpse. I still think it's correct to do the second glimpse, just because our hand is really awkward. I want to see what else I can draw. Risk and Miss is not the greatest hit, but it is fine. It'll have to do for now. I do want to kill this House Spider. I'm actually thinking I block that House Spider, especially now we drew the second Elise. Oh well. When it's giving us the value here, so now we can block both of the House Spiders and call it a day. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep my Mistwraith alive, because I think the Mistwraith is too important. But I think I'm actually okay blocking both of the House Spiders, because the House Spiders with Tybalt become fearsome blockers. The small Spiderlings don't become fearsome blockers. So be my guess. As long as I keep this alive, this is what I'm gonna need to push the damage. So we're gonna go ahead and do it like that. I'm gonna summon the Mistwraith instead of the Risk and Miss. I guess the punish for the Mistwraith, for the Wraithcaller, sorry, or with the Risk and Miss is that, wow, is that we get punished by Arachnoid Sentry, right? Yeah, be my guess. You got your Go Hard, cool. We get punished by Arachnoid Sentry if we go Wraithcaller. But I think I need to go Wraith. Ooh, I think we just go Kalista now, right? I think we can just go Kalista now and then go Elise. It's the same thing as summoning the Wraithcaller, except that we lose 1 damage here from the Mistwraith. Opponent goes for his Elise, which is actually gonna level up, which is actually super unfortunate, because he just top decked that. Now we do have a lot of fearsome blockers, including Burst Speed Fearsome Blocker, that I'm not too concerned about this Elise leveling up. Which is fine. So we're pushing 3, 5, 7. Opponent obviously just kills the Spiderling here with their 2/2 Spider. He top decked that Elise, man. That's so bad for us. We have enough fearsome blockers with Kalista and the Mistwraith that the opponent's gonna get punished there when they try to do like a big open attack. So let's kind of see how this goes. I might be too close to dying though. I might be too close to dying though, even with the Risk and Miss. Now this is gonna advance Kalista by 1, which is kind of nice. We probably just block Elise, right? We probably block Annie with this. Actually, no, because he's always gonna pull this guy with the Spiderlings, right? He's gonna kill this guy with this House Spider. He's gonna kill here. We can block Elise with the Risk and Miss as a surprise blocker that the opponent's not gonna expect. If the opponent gets greedy, we just do the Wraithcaller. No, I think I always prefer the Burst Speed blocker, right? Yeah, because the opponent's gonna try to pull everything here. He could technically kill Kalista here, right? By pulling with the Elise. He's gonna do Disintegrate, right? That's what makes sense here. Yeah, so Disintegrate here to quote unquote. This also levels up the Annie, which is actually kind of smart, because now the Annie is doing, it's doing 3 damage to us. Because this is still gonna kill the Risk and Myth here. Now we do have 7 mana, so if we save 4 mana, if we save 2 mana, we'll be able to do the Harrowing, which might be all that we need. My concern here. Yeah, I think we just go like this. I don't want to summon the Wraithcaller. I think next turn we can just go for... No, I think I need to summon the Wraithcaller. And then do the Harrowing. I know it's a little bit less value, We could have also blocked that spiraling, I guess, with the wrist and miss. He can always kill this elite. I mean, yeah, he's already killed the Elise, right? So we can go like this. This gives us a blocker for our future turn, while also leaving the wrist and myths in the back of our hand. Because everything that we summon for the heroine is gonna get just obliterated, right? I don't think we're in a position where we're gonna die just yet. Like, the Elise is scary, but it's not the end of the world. Because he's gonna be forced to block next time with heroine. Yeah. Like, this is actually the best situation that he could have done for us. Because now we don't have to worry about this getting stunned next time, right? So I'm completely okay with that. Because we always have the heroine anyways. And again, the idea is that we're keeping this in the back. And now with double wrist and miss, I don't think we die next turn, even if the opponent has a way to kill us. So we go like this. Cool. So I think now we attack with everything. Now that we have the double wrist and miss, I think we actually attack with everything. Right? Because opponent has to block with Tivers and Elise on the Mistwraiths to not die. Unless he has like a Battle Feast plus Flock right now. But that's 2 out of 3 cards that the opponent will have to use just for that. Plus, this is like, you're still hitting at least 9 damage here. So I can force the opponent to have to block with all these other units. We're using the Brave Color as well. Because Kalista is going to level up actually. So it's going to be 10 damage. Because we always obviously make the Ephemerals go first before Kalista. So this is tough for the opponent. Let's see. He only has 7 mana as well. Could be stuck with like a Vengeance in his hand, which doesn't really do anything. Again, he has to be like Battle Feast Flock, I guess. Battle Feast is really good because he... Oh, Unspeakable Horror. But again, doesn't get any value from it. He's going to try to flock this, right? So it looks like the opponent's trying to flock the Brave Color that's like not an Ephemeral. So that he could open attack for lethal next turn. The problem is, again, the double wrist and myths are going to be a complete punish for the opponent. He's going to... Yeah, so the fact that he's trying to keep Tivers alive tells me that he's trying to do exactly that. I guess that drain does keep the opponent at 13 HP, so he doesn't have to actually block like all the Mistwraiths. But I think he's going to have to anyways, right? You need to block with Annie as well, my friend. Kalista still levels up. And then next time we do the same thing. We do a second heroine, or we can even do the wrist and myth twice. If you live at 1 HP, you actually lose to the Camera and Dragon, which is actually kind of funny. So if the opponent stays at 1 HP and doesn't have a drain, he actually loses to the... Oh, wow. He's going to go for it. So yeah, he's trying to go for lethal next turn. But again, he's going to get punished by this spell right here. Gonna get punished by this spell right here. Not only that, opponent's actually only doing... We can just win. This is only 9. The opponent's only doing 9. So if the opponent literally has nothing else that they do this turn, if they summon no other units, we have a way to burst speed win. Uh-oh, we have exact mana for it too. And that's game. Wrist and miss. We go here. And that's game. Camera and Dragon, letting us get the last piece of damage that we need to finish up the game. So yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Annie Twisted Fate. Now, the good thing against this deck is that they don't have a lot of fearsome blockers. Like, barely any at all. I actually think the heroine is a good keep in this matchup. Because, okay, well, 2 of them is a little bit unfortunate. Because it's very easy for them to clear our board with their different, like, removal tools. Fortunately, I mean, by the time we... Even though we have 2, it might not be a bad thing because we have enough early play anyways that it won't matter, right? Let's go ahead and do Elise. That way we don't take any necessary damage there. If the opponent wants to attack, I'm more than okay blocking here. Sure. Like, people always think that I'm not going to block with Elise. I don't care. All I need to do is survive, right? All I need to do is survive long enough for me to do my heroine, and then I win the game. Now we actually summon Kalista instead. And now if the opponent kills the Elise, we just get value into our Kalista. Okay, I guess he's going to flock her now. I'm going to go ahead and throw my Elise into the Sentry. If he wants to kill her, be my guess. he has to have flock here. So he's gonna flock here, kill. Yeah, there you go. That's one flock out of the way, so it's less thing that we have to worry about. Now we have one less sentry to worry about, and we can start again. With this deck, you just wanna attack, right? You're kind of like an aggro deck. You just wanna keep continue attacking, make the opponent spend their resources, because eventually you just do this thing, right, and you just win the game. So let's go ahead with the Wraith Caller into the Mistwraith. I'm gonna do the Wraith Caller first, just in case that we top deck another Wraith Caller, or we top deck something else that we want to play next turn, like another unit, right? You know, this is not a bad unit. This kind of puts a little more damage, though. I mean, technically, this puts the most damage. We could also just kill the Wraith Caller. I think it's actually correct to do this. So I think it's actually correct to do this. This becomes a 5/5. Opponent doesn't have any fearsome blockers. This is pushing 7. We drain 1. We also make sure that our Wraith Caller is down in the graveyard. So now we can always bring it back with Harrowing Return. The only problem is that we did lose that Mistwraith, that Wraith Caller, which the opponent had to potentially block, right? Because that Wraith Caller was pushing 4 damage. So technically, maybe we should have done it to our face, right? Okay, he's gonna go Disintegrate. Again, the more resources that he's spending here, the better for us. We could have probably glimpsed that, by the way. We could have probably glimpsed that. But it's okay, we'll save our mana. We're just preparing for a big Harrowing with how many units we have on the field now, in the graveyard now. Elise, Kalista, etc. Sure. And watch this. Same thing again. Opponent doesn't think that we're gonna block, and we just block. They never think that we're gonna block. Like, they never understand that I really don't care. Never understand that I really don't care. Sure. What if we just do the first Harrowing next turn? Why not? Right? Oh, I guess the only problem with this card is that now it brings back the other guy, right? It doesn't actually bring back the other units that I'm looking for. I still think we just Harrowing here. So the reason that I want to do the Harrowing Return is to potentially bring back the Wraith Caller, but I forgot that it was actually gonna bring the Cameron Dragon instead. Now it's gonna bring back the Mistwraith next time we do it. So this is still fine here. We have 2 units that stay on the field. We attack with everything else. Kalista's gonna level up on the attack as well. So sure. We go. I mean, there's also potential that we do the Onlooker here, but I think the Onlooker is too weak to Blaze Edge or anything like that. Opponent's still gonna take a ton of damage here. They could have another flock. They could flock and block this one, and that would leave us with no units, but they just lose the game, right? So if they block like this, they lose the game anyways. They need to find a way to deal with another unit. Yeah, so they have to lose one of the units no matter what. And then next time we do the same thing with the Harrowing, and we win the game. And that's why I said that Harrowing is so good in this matchup, because opponent's gonna have a really hard time dealing with it. Next time we can even do the Phrases Killer to kind of reduce the output damage that he has. And again, we just sacrifice all our units because we're going to do the Harrowing again next time. So I kind of love this deck because of the fact that you don't have to worry about your units dying. You can just take any trade that you want and kind of go from there. And here we go. So now what is the opponent going to do here? I guess they could have Reds next turn, right? But I don't think Reds is going to be that good for him anyways. So I don't have a problem with Reds coming down. If he kills this, I might summon the Onlooker just so that we have a blocker. For like, you know, Reds or something. I mean, for Twisted Fate or something like that. Since he went ahead and didn't kill the Mistwraith, I think he's fine. Okay. The other option he could have is just wait until next turn to do his Riptide Rats, right? So let's say that he has a Death Hand. He will have enough mana to do like a Death Hand plus Riptide Rats next turn if he wanted to. He could also just level up Twisted Fate, and that could be a little bit of a problem, right? Yeah, level up Twisted Fate could be a problem. Let's just do one of these for now. Sure. It's a little bit weird because now we reduce our space for harrowing. We prevent all this damage though. Opponent can still just attack with Annie. Be my guess. We're gonna glimpse, I think. I think we're gonna glimpse this turn. Otherwise, opponent's just gonna hit by the fearsomes next turn anyways. Okay, Anakaboros. So Twisted Fate is gonna be a 7 out of 9, so opponent will definitely be able to level it next turn. Right? Now, opponent can only do one red card next turn, which is not enough to kill our Mistwraiths that are coming down, but he could potentially have Make a Rain. Opponent needs another Anakaboros anyways to actually It's the only problem here is that we cannot glimpse, right? Because if we glimpse, we are letting this hit our face, which is kind of annoying. What if you just glimpse right now? What if we just take this glimpse here? And now at this point, we can do a harrowing again. The opponent's gonna level up Twisted Fate on the attack, but then the red card is not gonna be enough, right? He's gonna have to have Flock and Make a Rain to actually make this kill us. Otherwise, we have enough attackers that the opponent shouldn't be able to stop us here. So the single red card is not gonna be enough. The single red card is not gonna be enough, right? Because we still have a full attack. He only has 4 HP, and we have a lot of fearsome attackers. Gold card will stun one of these guys. So gold card stops one of them. Red card gets everything to damage. But if he wants to be able to flock, he needs to do 2 spells right now to actually get value, right? We can even go ahead and do the Onlooker too, by the way, if the opponent actually kills one of our units right now. So let's say that the opponent kills one of our units right now. Right, so let's say they kill one of the I don't know, I guess one of the Mistwraiths, right? Make it rain hit, Make it rain miss everything. So Make it rain miss everything that the opponent wanted to hit. And that's the problem, right? So now everything is vulnerable to block and stuff, but the opponent already used a Make it Rain. We just go like this and call it a day. I don't want to summon the thing from Kalista. I don't think it's worth it. I think at this point we just attack like this. Opponent will have to hit and Make it Rain perfectly on all 3 of our other units to actually be able to win. That's a consideration that actually summoning one Kalista. Actually, it was probably better to at least do one Kalista. Because it protects one of the Kalista so that we can actually push damage through, right? So actually, it was probably correct. Because this puts us more vulnerable to another Make it Rain here. Because now Make it Rain can hit here, 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 and here. So if we left this Kalista back and actually just summoned the other Mistwraith, he actually was better. Yeah, I think that was actually correct. That was actually correct. Now, opponent could stun one of this, right? And then Make it Rain could potentially hit another one. But how does he deal with these 2 units? He has to Flock and another Death Hand, right? Death Hand, Flock. So Death Hand, Flock, Make it Rain. And that's exactly 6 mana. While also hoping that... Actually, that doesn't even work. Because if you Flock, Death Hand, you're killing this 2. But Make it Rain at most can only kill 3 of these. So there's always going to be at least 1 unit that goes through. So... Alright, we got there. Well, this is what we talked about, right? That's why I kept the Harrowing on the opening hand. Because their deck really doesn't have a great way to deal with the Harrowing. So, yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against, oh man, Aphelios Zoe Viktor. I think this is probably one of our worst matchups. And the reason that I say that is because the opponent has like Mystic Shots, has so many things, right, to be able to get rid of our units. Wow, I like the Wraith Caller and I like the Glimpse, because obviously there's going to be stuff that we have to deal with, like Calibrum, etc. Mystic Shots, get excited, Calibrum. Opponent's going to have a ton of fearsome blockers. We can do the Mistwraith here, but again, if they get Aphelios, okay, this is going to be a Mistwraith type of game. Opponent even gets a fearsome blocker, which is kind of annoying. That's kind of annoying. I wonder if we're supposed to do the Risen Mist right now. Maybe we are. I guess depends on what we... Yeah, I think we are. I think we always go for the Risen Mist right now and call it a day. At best, we push 3 damage. At worst, we eat up the first Mystic Shot. Or at first get excited. You just have to ignore fearsome blockers, right? Like, fearsome blockers are gonna happen no matter what. That's the Mystic Shot. Yeah, cool. So I don't think I ever worry about it. I think what we're gonna do is Wraith Caller, right? Wraith Caller, and then kind of go from there. Maybe we even get the Stinging Onlooker. That could be pretty nice. Because the opponent's not gonna really be able to block with Viktor, right? Because all my units have 4 attack. Okay, well, I guess he will be able to block with Viktor if he gets a head score tough, right? Regeneration wouldn't have worked. He had to be exactly tough. I'm willing to block this, right? Because this is always going to get blocked by Viktor next turn anyways. I guess the idea, though, is that maybe we don't block. So that way he's not able to block, like, he's not able to block our second Wraith Caller. But we only give him 1 at a time. Viktor's spell is actually pretty good here because he can get the removal tools to remove our Mistwraith, which are gonna be kind of unfortunate for us. I think we do take this 3 damage. So I think we do take this 3 damage. That way we can attack with both of the Wraith Callers next turn and be able to actually push more damage. Let's go like this. I don't think the Mistwraith makes sense. I think it's better to just go wider. We could have gone for the Francis Kittler. Yeah, cool. So now he can still block both of the Wraith Callers, right? But we're still pushing 10 here unless the opponent has the second Mystic or has to get excited. He could have Pale Cascade as well to buff up the Dustbringer. We're gonna need Harrowing, right? Okay, just get excited, and he decides not to block this one. Okay, I guess he doesn't want to give it up. I guess it makes sense, right? He wants to keep his board because he's also playing probably the Wind and Light. Please don't get Regeneration. If you get Regeneration, I'm gonna be so sad. Okay, Impact, that's not bad. That can still kill the Viktor. Yeah, the Wind and Light could be a problem, right? And this is the Harrowing. So the Wind and Light could be a problem. Maybe that's why he decided to keep his board. A Harrowing could be decent next turn. And that's the Wind and Light. So we're gonna go like this. We're gonna go like this and just get a fierce ephemeral blocker. Because now the opponent is kind of okay. If he attacks, right, he's just gonna get hit by the ephemeral blocker. So it's probably not great for them to attack anyways. He gets that score. Okay, so this is enough to block everything anyways, right? So I don't think we need to summon the second Mistwraith. Because the opponent has a pretty bad attack here, except for here. Oh, he's gonna give me everything. Oh, he's gonna give me everything. That's the biggest mistake that the opponent could have made. That's actually the biggest mistake that the opponent could have made. He's actually gonna give me everything. Yeah, this is gonna be a punish, right? This is gonna be a pretty big punish. Maybe the opponent thought that they have lethal with the burn, right? But now we just do this and call it a day. We get at least 4 Mistwraith, right? And 2 Wraith Caller. Unfortunately, the second Wraith Caller doesn't get to summon a Mistwraith, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Opponent will have to have double Get Excited, but they already used 1 Get Excited on our unit and already also did a Mystic Shot earlier. So I'm not too concerned about this. Now, if we cannot finish the game right here, we do lose the game, right? Because we don't have any blockers. I guess this guy's a blocker, but if the opponent has a Mystic Shot, they always have to kill this one. But how does he get enough blockers for everything here? He even has to give up his Viktor against this card, right? And there we go. Wow, that attack last turn, I think, was really off by the opponent, right? Because that's literally the only way that we win. He got a little bit too greedy with the Wind and Light value, and they got punished for that. So yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Shyvanna, Asol, Jarvan, which I think is a very bad matchup for us because the opponent has a lot of fearsome blockers, so I don't expect us to actually be able to survive against this. Now, we can try with the Risen Myth and the Wraith Callers to get very big on a Mistwraith. But opponent also kept 2 cards, which tells me that they probably have the value that they need to be able to kind of overwhelm us. So we can do Horror, Kalista, I guess. Kind of go from there. He's going to get Shyvanna early on as well. So opponent's going to get Shyvanna here. We can do Kalista. But the opponent just summons the Shyvanna and calls it a day. I'm willing to attack. If the opponent wants to block right here, that's fine with me. We can just kill Kalista next turn if we wanted to. He also starts advancing our... we can kill Shyvanna next turn with the Burst Speed Mistwraith. Actually, no, because she's going to go to 3. But we can just sacrifice her into Kalista. I don't think I care about Kalista. I care more about Shyvanna at this point being really strong. Opponent even gave us the option here to just do this. So now he cannot even attack with the Shyvanna. Go ahead. You can kill the Mistwraith for free. But if you attack with Shyvanna, you lose to the Wraithcaller. And you level up our Kalista. Okay. So we level up Kalista. Cool. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a burst speed attack. So we're going to do a burst speed attack just to push a ton of damage early on. So we're going to do Risk and Miss. Because this is going to summon, right? This is going to summon a Wraithcaller, giving us another miss on the field. So we go like this. We push 8 damage because opponent has no fearsome blockers. And we get a full value of blockers. Opponent even gives us their challenger, which is pretty good for us. Now, this Mistwraiths are really, really big, right? And the opponent might not have a good chance. I guess they could have Asol here, but Asol is not even enough. I don't think Asol is enough to level up. And we get the Harrowing, so we can actually just sacrifice the whole board if we wanted to. And we have another Risk and Miss, by the way. So we have another Risk and Miss, and we're going to have 4 different Mistwraiths on the field. 5 with the Risk and Miss. And opponent doesn't have that many blockers. We could, like, if the opponent doesn't attack right away, we could literally just kill his Eclipse Dragon. Now, he will get another dragon here, unfortunately. Which is kind of unfortunate for us. But he could actually lose his Eclipse Dragon if he attacks. Okay, I mean... Sure. Sure. If he tries to do a single combat, right? We can just do the Risk and Miss. Now that the opponent did it this way, I think we go ahead and still do the Risk and Miss and call it a day. Right? Just go like this. I don't even care about Kalista. I don't think Kalista needs to attack with her ally anymore. I think we just go like this. Because this is pushing a ton of damage. Opponent will need to have Judgment here, right? And if they have the Judgment, they have it. Wow. Yeah, if they have the Judgment, they have it. I'm never going to play around Judgment there, right? I think playing around Judgment there is always a mistake. So I'll take that. I'll take that. I guess we could have played around it, though, to be honest. So we could have played around it by just summoning Kalista, right? Mistwraith into Kalista. Yeah, could have done it. I don't know if that actually makes sense. Opponent just hits us with a 13-1 here. Sands of Time gives us some room to breathe. So we could potentially stay alive by 2. If the opponent doesn't have any buffs here. But if they have another of the Dragon Egg, they actually win. I guess it's going to be Harrowing next turn. And if the opponent has a second Judgment, we lose the game. Okay, opponent has enough block. Opponent has 4 blockers. Needs to have 1 more, right? Needs to have 1 more blocker here. So needs to have 1 more blocker here. I guess he doesn't, because Kalista actually gets summoned as well. So he does have enough blockers here for all the Mistwraith. Oh, you're just striking the 2 weakest ones? That's okay. We still get to summon another one, right? We could press go, to be honest. We didn't need to do this right now. So this also is nice because this means that the Eclipse Dragon can actually not block, right? So opponent actually loses the whole board right here. He needs to block with everything. He needs to block with everything. Now, what I need to do, I need to actually do the Fading Memories, right? I need to actually do the Fading Memories just so that we have a blocker for next turn. Now, opponent could have Sharp Sight. So Sharp Sight could be the big punish here. Because he could open attack Sharp Sight and win the game. Or he could just have the Elusive. He got that from the Eclipse Dragon. Wow, he got that from the Eclipse Dragon. So yeah, GG's. We're just getting game done by this guy. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Lucian Hecarim. Now, this is actually kind of bad for us because the opponent will be able to have the Grand Plaza. I really like this hand. So the Grand Plaza can actually be pretty annoying for us because the opponent will be able to trade his Ephemerals into our Mistwraiths, right? Now, we have a decent hand here, which is pretty good. We just gotta hope that we can get there before the opponent can stabilize with the Grand Plaza, right? Now, you might think it's weird for me to attack right now because we have Kalista next turn, so we could have just waited. But I think the opponent, after this turn, the opponent just doesn't bother with, like, opponent would have blocked, right? And I think I'd rather just get rid of that 2 damage Brave so that we can summon more later on and get rid of the Fearsome blocker. It's more important, in my opinion, to get rid of the Fearsome blocker than it is for us to try to get value out of Kalista. So I'm always taking that attack. Because also, if the opponent has Lucian here, we don't want to have to sacrifice it to Lucian. Opponent goes like this. We go Kalista. Like, I don't really care about taking 2 damage on Kalista here. Be my guess. Next time we can do the Risen Myth and we can push 6 damage and start putting some pressure in the opponent. Yeah, there we go. So now we go like this. Then we have another Risen Myth on the future turn. We start working towards our Harrowing to just be a crazy value. I would like to actually summon the Frenzy Skittler because I think it will allow us to get a ton of value against the opponent. What is that spell that the opponent just triggered? Is it just a glimpse? I guess it might just be a glimpse, huh? Okay, so he's just gonna go try to kill our units. Here we go like this. This protects all our units. Right? So at least it keeps everything alive. Sure. If the opponent has like a Sharp Sight here and they use it to kill Kalista, that's perfect for us. Because we have another Kalista anyways in our hand. Come on, I know you want to do it. Oh, just glimpse? Okay, well, that's not fun. That's not fun. So then next time we have a big Fearsome attack, right? This is 3, 6, 9, 12, plus another 5. Black Spear? Cataclysm? I still think we go ahead and summon Kalista, right? I mean, I guess we could 4, 8. I guess we have exact lethal, right? I guess we have exact lethal if we wanted to. I like Kalista, especially now that we do the Harrowing Return, we can actually get. Oh wow, okay, well he loses anyways. So now he tapped out of everything. We have enough Fearsome attackers. I guess he can block here. So now this becomes he needs to block one of the Wraithcaller or one of the Mistwraiths, right? So technically he will survive. So he will survive at 1. So I guess I should have gone for it. But then if the Hecarim attacks, he's just losing, right? And we're able to level up Kalista. We even have another Risen Myth. Oh, wait. We can just win. Caliber and Dragon for the win here. So, yeah. Let's do it here. And that's game. He tried to drain, but we also have the drain in our deck. So, there you go. Now you understand why the dragon is in the game, in the deck, I guess. GG's. So this matchup, we'll be going up against Ekko Zilean. And I think this is actually a pretty bad matchup for us because we don't really have anything, right, that can actually stop the opponent from just like straight up killing us with Ekko and Chrono Break as soon as they're able to. I'm gonna see if I can go for the Mistwraith win condition. Since we started with the Wraithcaller and the Risen Myth. At least it's not bad either. Because Elise gives us a nice fearsome attacker early on. So let's see how this goes. So every time that I have played this matchup with this deck, I have found myself that's another big punish, right? If the opponent gets the Headside Crystal in their hand, they completely are able to kill our Mistwraith. So we're never able to really do anything about it, right? Which is a big punish. Now, we got a little bit lucky here. Opponent ended up drawing the drop border. Right? I'm completely okay with this. Because, I mean, her being at 1 HP doesn't matter to us. Let's just save our 2 damage right now. And now that's a Scrying Sand that I don't have to worry about later. Completely A-okay. Hopefully we draw something else. Otherwise, we have to just do the Risk and Miss. And just push 4 damage this turn. Which is also fine. But if we can get something else that's better than playing the Risk and Myth, that's better. Because usually the Risk and Myth is much better to do as like a burst piece surprise attacker. So, okay, we don't get it. So let's just go ahead and do this. Start working on our miss. We summon another one next turn with the Wraith Caller. Opponent just blocks here, right? So opponent just blocks here, get to the Spiderling right now while they can.
These are my streets.
And we go from there. Just take 4 damage and go from there. So, again, the problem here is going to be Ekko. I mean, Zilean is also pretty bad, right? The time bombs can... I can get another... Well, I mean, again, this doesn't matter that much because we're mostly focusing on fearsome attackers. But it will matter a lot once the opponent levels up Ekko and they can bring the girl that buffs them up, right? Because then all of these guys, all of these units will become fearsome blockers, which is kind of annoying. So let's see. Is this Ekko play? No. Okay, well, yeah. We always block with Elise here, by the way. So I'm always okay blocking with Elise here because the opponent probably has a time bomb. Anyways. So, and at this point, I'm actually going to do a second Elise instead of the Wraith Caller because we have a second Mistwraith anyways. So we get the same value as if we summon the Wraith Caller. And the reason I sacrifice the Elise is because if the opponent has a time bomb, the Elise is dying anyways. So might as well just use it right now, get it out of the way. Well, if the opponent's going to go like this, then I'm going to go full on value here with the full Fearsome package. And now, especially since we also top deck the Onlooker, should be pretty nice here. Even if the opponent has double time bomb, he can't do it fast enough before I attack. So this is 4, 8, 12, 14, and this is going to be 18. But it's going to have Quicksand or Mystic Shot to actually be able to kill this. Kahiri. Okay, well, was not expecting that, I will tell you that. We still just attack with everything, right? I don't think we actually need the Spiderling, because I think we push more damage with the Wraith Caller, or at least force the opponent to have to block. So I think we always attack with the Wraith Caller instead. And we don't mind if the Wraith Caller dies, because we can always get the Harrow in return to bring back the Wraith Caller later on in the game. Quicksand, there's a Quicksand. Unfortunately for the opponent, this still kills both of these units if he blocks here. And if the opponent doesn't have units, that's also good with us, because it makes his potential attack in the future a lot worse. Now, unfortunately, the opponent didn't kill the Wraith Caller, so we don't get a Wraith Caller from the Harrow return. We'll get a Mistwraith, which I think is still fine, right? Another release is probably not great, though. I'm gonna pass here. Okay, so opponent's looking for the Headside Crystal. Opponent's looking for like Ekko or something. I'm kind of afraid of a time bomb, right? Because if I do a time bomb, this is dying for free. I'm gonna pass. If he has a time bomb, oh, okay, well, that's even better. So now we can just glimpse this instead. I was waiting for him to do something because the opponent has to do something for them not to just straight up die. Our hand is a little bit awkward here, but the opponent knows that they just lost the game, so they're just gonna go ahead and let that. We got lucky that they didn't get an Ekko, right? Not getting Ekko means that the opponent got slowed down a ton, and we just put enough pressure there with the Mistwraiths. So yeah, GG's. So in this matchup, we'll be going up against Annie Ezreal. Now, the Mystic shots are really bad into a Mistwraith. However, I don't think the Risen Myth is the right play until we get at least Wraithcaller or something like that. I think the Risen Myth is better off later in the game. Now, we have the Harrowing, and that's what I was going to talk about. The opponent's deck shouldn't have a great way to deal with Harrowing until they get Tybok on the field. Right? Once they get Tybok on the field, then obviously they're going to have a lot of fearsome blockers, because now the House Spiders are going to be 3 attack, which is a little bit annoying, but it's also not the end of the world. Now, usually people are going to have to spend 2 cards to be able to get rid of Kalista, which is really good for us, right? So we're going to go like this. We're going to go Kalista here. And now if the opponent kills this Mistwraith, it's going to start a Betsy or Kalista, or the opponent can spend 2 cards to actually kill Kalista, whether it's Disintegrate plus Blaze Edge, or Mystic Shot plus Disintegrate. Okay, yeah, so if he does the Mystic Shot right here, we're still able to push 3 damage, and Kalista is now 1 out of 3, right? And then we can just continue doing the same thing, where we summon Mistwraith, Horror, sorry, not Sentry. I'm gonna actually commit the Arachnoid Horror so that we can just block the Archivist if the opponent decides to attack with it. Now, opponent just showed us that they have 3 spells on the top of their deck, which is kind of annoying. Okay, I think opponent really doesn't think I'm gonna block here. Like, I'm completely A-okay getting rid of your fearsome attacker. Your fearsome blocker, sorry. Like, that's literally exactly what we want. It's always gonna be Mistwraith here. Opponent could have another Mystic Shot, and that's just gonna level up Kalista. Okay, so he's gonna go ahead and kill Kalista now. So this is what I'm talking about, right? He has to spend 2 resources. So he got a Flock. Yeah, there you go. Be my guess. But it's still, that was a Flock and sorry, I don't know why I'm blanking out. So that was a Flock plus I'm actually gonna go like this because I want to keep the Glimpse in my hand. A Flock and a Mystic Shot that the opponent no longer has. We still push 6 damage here. And again, at this point, we just have to try to set up for the Harrowing. Now, opponent is going to push a lot of damage here, and they're going to level up their Annie, which is kind of annoying. What if we just block everything? What if we just block everything? Because we'll just do the Harrowing next turn. My question here is if I should Glimpse. Should I Glimpse? I think we always Glimpse, right? I think we want to Glimpse now while we have the value. It does mean that we leave 1 House Spider alive, which is kind of annoying. It could have also baited the opponent into, like, blocking something. Doing a Mystic Shot on it, which could have been pretty nice for us. Unfortunately, they didn't go there, so it's fine. So, obviously, the Tybok is going to be kind of the Tivers is going to be annoying because it's going to be a fearsome blocker. And it's also going to give him... But now the opponent tapped out of so much mana, right? So if they do Tivers, it's okay with us. Like, if they do Tivers, it's A-okay with us. We actually don't even have enough units dead. That's kind of annoying. I thought we had a full 6 board. It should still be enough though, right? Maybe what we should have done is that we should have Risen Miss last turn. No, because we just talked at the Risen Miss. Never mind. We talked at the Risen Myth with the Glimpse, right? So we couldn't have done it that way. We still have another fearsome attacker with the Onlooker, although again the Onlooker is vulnerable to Blaze Edge and Static Shock and everything like that. We know that the opponent was going to be top decking a Flock, right? At some point. So that's the one thing we have to worry about. They probably have a 0-cost Flock in their hand. But I don't know if a 0-cost Flock actually matters to us because we don't have anything that's damaged, right? I guess the opponent could do Tivers, stun the Kalista. This will still push enough. We might actually have lost now because we did have 1 more unit. If we had 1 more unit that had died, it could have been better. But unfortunately, we were just slightly off. Maybe we needed to do the Camembert Dragon last turn. Because we ended up burning some mana, right? We also know that he saw... Okay, well, if he does the Static Shock right here, it means that we have 1 less static to worry about with the Onlooker. So I think we always summon the Onlooker. That was a full 4-mana static shock, by the way, which means that he didn't have the static shock, that he didn't reduce the static shock. And yeah, that's game right there. Whew. Not enough fearsome blockers, and that's the problem that Noxus decks have against this deck, that at least Annie style decks, that they just don't have enough fearsome blockers. So GG's. Hey, welcome back everybody. Hope you enjoyed those games. You can kind of see how crazy it is. I can't believe that we actually got multiple wins with the Cameron Dragon in this video. I'm telling you, I was not expecting that at all. Now, while climbing, you guys saw we almost got to 400 LP, and then we ended up losing like 2 more games or 3 more games after that, going all the way back down to 300, and then kind of climbing a little bit back up to 350. So I think we finished top 50. Yeah, oh, there we go, 49. We finished at 335 on this recording and finished top 50 on the ladder so far using Kalista, which you would have never expected. In terms of mulligan, I think as you kind of saw, I want to keep Elise early on. I want to keep my Mistwraiths early on, Kalista, and Wraithcaller. So those are the main keeps, right? Elise, Mistwraiths, Kalista, Wraithcaller. If I don't have any other 2-drop, I will keep the Horror, as it could be a good attacker early on. And that's usually what it is, right? You want to just keep your early fearsomes. Elise being the main one, with Kalista, Mistwraiths, and Wraithcaller kind of following up after that. Everything else, like Sense of Times, Having Miss, Having Return, Cameron Dragon, you can kick those because you want to kind of see them later on. Same thing with Glimpse. You want to see it later on in the game when you actually start running a little bit out of resources. But yeah, as you saw there, don't be afraid to just jam and attack like crazy, because even if you're losing your units, you can always bring them back later on with Harrowing. The important thing is that you're able to get rid of the opponent's fearsome blockers earlier rather than later. That way they kind of don't have that value, and you can just come back later on to kind of win the game. Harrowing is very important with this deck, so I do recommend playing 3 of it, even if sometimes it can get a little bit clunky when you draw 2. But trust me, you're gonna need it, because it's the way that you win. As you saw, a lot of our matches we end up winning because of Harrowing. But anyways, enough about that. As always, if you like the content, please make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. If you like my content as well, you can find us on Twitch at Sirturmund, where we stream 3 to 4 times a week. And you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. If you're watching this today on Thursday, I should be streaming right now as well. And I'm probably going to be playing this deck on stream all throughout Thursday night. So anyways, hope you enjoyed the games. I'll see you all again tomorrow.